Early in September 2025, I started to see tweets and articles about a new pregnancy robot coming out in China. And so this is pretty wild stuff. And it really caught storm on X.com in particular. Of course, the technology for artificial wombs is something that is in development, and it's primarily something that's aimed at, helping premature babies who are extremely premature. But the idea that you could take a humanoid robot and give them an artificial womb to then use it for procreation purposes is something that definitely sparked a lot of interest online, to say the least. So we find on Twitter, the idea from Kaiwei Technology based in Guangzhou involves a humanoid designed with an artificial womb embedded in its abdomen, intended to carry a fetus through 10 months of gestation and deliver a baby, according to Chinese media outlets. Slated for debut by 2026 and expected to sell for around $13,900, the robot aims to offer a pregnancy alternative for those who wish to avoid the burdens of human gestation. The announcement has triggered intense public discourse, from ethical unease to hopeful possibilities for the infertile. So obviously people have had very strong feelings about this. So this is Russell Brand is retweeting about it. He said that Chinese scientists are creating a humanoid pregnancy robot to carry and give birth. This is the commodification of life and the calculated erosion of our humanity. Fair enough. People say, AI girlfriends and now pregnancy robots? Cool, we're doomed. Not everybody is against it, so you see some people say things like, this is a long time coming. Someone else says, this is just surrogacy for men. Women have always had the ability to have a child on their own. What's wrong with giving men that option to be a single parent? It's a lot better than just the idiots procreating. I'm thankful to say that the pregnancy robot from China is fake. On livescience.com, a journalist posts this article. She says, a story circulating on social media this week featured a seemingly made-up scientist who is developing an equally imaginary pregnancy robot. Virality ensued. Bizarre imagery flooded news feeds this week as word spread about a new pregnancy robot in development in China. The images featured plump human babies curled inside the bellies of chrome-plated robots, complete with visible wiring and ample curves despite their lack of mammary glands. Yeah, exactly. Many outlets, including Newsweek, The Economic Times, and Chosun Biz, named a Chinese outlet, Kuaki as the story's source. Zhang Guifeng, the developer of the bot, intended to carry a pregnancy from conception to birth. Reportedly told the outlet that a prototype would be ready as early as 2026 at a price point of around $14,000. And this person, Zhang, says, some people don't want to get married but still want a wife. Some don't want to be pregnant but still want a child. Mature artificial womb technology just needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy. I'm just going to leave that one there. Zhang was cited as the CEO or founder of Kaiwei Technology, or as a PhD affiliated with Singapore's Nanyang Technology University, NTU. Finding no online evidence of Kaiwei Technology, Live Science contacted NTU about their purported affiliation with the scientist. An NTU spokesperson said, we would like to inform you that no one by the name of Zhang Guifeng graduated from NTU with a PhD. Our checks also showed no such gestation robot research has been conducted at NTU. Fortunately, this story was not real, but the journalist Nicoletta Lanise does point out that it raises questions about the idea of artificial womb technology. Would it be possible to build a pregnancy robot? Or is this just science fiction? Live Science spoke with various experts about this topic. They asked Dr. Harvey Kleiman, the director of the Reproductive and Placental Research Unit at Yale University School of Medicine. And he says, should we do it? My answer would be categorically no. Now, the thing about this that tipped me off that I wasn't really dealing with serious technology is the fact that they put the artificial womb into a humanoid. We're already, we're not really there yet when it comes to humanoid robots truly being able to kind of have sort of like a long-term existence on their own where they're walking around and just doing things independently. You still have an energy source to think about. And artificial wombs themselves, that's pretty advanced technology. And the idea that you would risk your superbly complex artificial womb technology by putting it into a humanoid bipedal robot that could topple over or fall down or something like that, this is clearly not a real thing. And then finally, the price point being under $14,000 is just ridiculous. More broadly, for myself, there obviously are ethical problems with this, and it's almost not worth really getting into it because this is so unlikely to actually be a thing. But I really think it comes down to probably 2 or 3 separate ethical questions. The one that is most likely to be relevant upfront is, are there ethical considerations around the idea of artificial wombs? And the answer is complex. Obviously, if you have if you're a woman who's pregnant and your child is having health issues and you end up having a premature birth, there's really nothing controversial about putting that baby into some kind of incubator. We have various technology that are along these lines already in NICU units. But there definitely does start to become a different level of scrutiny when you consider, would it be possible to actually put a recently fertilized embryo into an artificial womb and grow it all the way up so that it was essentially a surrogate pregnancy without using a human womb at all? My immediate thought about that is that scene in the Lord of the Rings movies where Saruman is the evil wizard is raising an army of mutated orc people to wage war against his enemies. I don't know, I feel like if you really developed artificial womb technology to a level that it was extremely viable and easy and cheap, there would be some jerk who would immediately think, I'm going to use this to raise an army of clones or just an army of soldiers. And even aside from the ethics of raising people specifically to use them as cannon fodder for war, just the idea that you would raise a human being in such a sterile and artificial way that was totally disconnected from the idea of motherhood and fatherhood, that's not a direction that we want to go. So obviously this is a very silly story, and I think we can have a laugh about it when you think about the pregnancy robot and it's just so gross, this idea of making a baby with a robot. So we can laugh about it, but I do think it raises that question to the forefront of our mind. Would it be ethical to divorce the human reproduction process from human beings to the degree that the entire gestation process happens in an artificial setting? So let me know what you think. I'm curious if you were fooled by the article, the initial idea or not. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.